Hey there everyone, how's it going? So we got a little special treat here today. This is the Merlin Models 124 scale concept McQuarrie X-Wing. Wow, it's Ethan and Justin were really nice enough to send me an early cast of it so I could open it up, look at it, review it, build it, paint it, kind of show it off, because this thing's a freaking beauty. I think a lot of people are interested in McQuarrie X-Wing. It's a little different than a regular X-Wing, but it's still really cool. The best part though, man, I know I keep saying the same thing, but I want them to succeed. I want them to keep making models like this. Okay, this is beautiful. The castings are clean and precise and very, detailed, and it's a joy. Like, I'd be surprised if I need to file or sand anything on this. Comes with all the parts. Look at the detail in the cockpit. I mean, wow, look at that. And inside the engines, such good detail. Heck, it even came with aluminum machined guns. I mean, these are so sweet. There's no sagging on these suckers. Normally when you get an X-Wing kit, you have a rod inside of a cast of resin that usually bends or warps and just off. I think it comes with 2 different droid heads. No, I'm wrong. It comes with pilot. Look at these. Just such good. There's clear parts in here for the lights. These engine cans are freaking detailed as all hell. Look at that. Look at the back. Just wow. You won't get this this kind of detail in a garage kit. You just won't. You can't do it. There's no possible. Has a mechanism for opening and closing the wings that I gotta figure out then, but I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. I'm gonna show you something. If you don't know what a garage kit is a kit that somebody has molded and designed in the garage or wherever the case may be. Garage, home, whatever. But it's made with silicone and molds, and then it's cast in resin. Well, look what happens sometimes. You get big holes in them and you lose detail. Like, I don't know if you can see, but you can see little specks of resin in the corner there. Let's see if I can adjust the light, get it to show that a little better. Hopefully you can see it. And then there's a lot of sanding and filing and cutting down, and then a lot of times you lose detail, like here. In here, I've got to go back and recut in this detail for these corners. Now, don't get me wrong, Randy's kit is a pretty good kit. I mean, it's a nice kit. I like it. I've made 4 of them. For the most part, it's a decent resin garage kit. But this is like the freaking Lamborghini of modeling. I mean, like, all you have to do is prime it, put it together, and paint it. That's all you gotta do. And they made it so easy. Thanks. I'm seriously like, thank you, Justin and Ethan. Like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to build. Like, I'll build these resin kits any day. Scratch building and resin kits, I don't want to have to sand resin parts at all. Like, I don't want to have to clean them up and sometimes you gotta pour boiling water on to get it not to bow. Like, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's bowed. I'm gonna have to pour boiling water on it to get that to go straight. So this is and one more thing. It gives you the lights and the lighting. I think it has like a sequence that is I think this is an Arduino board maybe, that has a sequence of lighting to make it go like it's taking off. So this is the first we're gonna do build it. Oh, look at it. Even the machine guns have like notches in them. They're freaking beautiful. Let's see, where does it go? It goes in here. I mean, wow. Yes, all day, every day. All right, well, this is the beginning. We're gonna build it, paint it, and show how it was done. I'm gonna show as much as I can and talk you through it and talk about how great this thing is. I mean, damn. I'm excited. I'll be honest, I've wanted a McQuarrie X-Wing, and they were hard to come by. And talked to Justin and Ethan. I talked to Ethan about it one time and said, why don't you do McQuarrie X-Wing? Decided to do it. So here we go. Alright, so we're going to start this beauty. We're going to start with the wings. Merlin Model has made this really simple for you. They have labeled the inside of each wing. Bottom left, bottom right, top right, top left. And then on the corresponding plates, you have the same markings, okay? And even on, so then this goes on here like that, okay? But even these ABS plastic supports, they have a marking on the inside that lets you know where they're supposed to go. I actually scratched over mine with some pencil so that I can see it. It's just a little raised impression, and then they go in the spots where, and again, this is not, you can't mix this up either because they only go in a certain way. You can't put this one in here, okay, because this one's tapered a little bit, and this one actually has a channel down the middle so that you can run your wire through like so, right like there, and then put it in here. So but when you do the wiring, you want to make sure that the wire is long enough that it's going to work through that channel, through this hole, right, and then in through, because this goes on here like this, so you gotta go through this hole also. There'll be two wires, there'll be positive and negative. I'm just showing one for now, okay? And then through this hole for the back engine can goes small hole, and make sure that that is also long enough so that you're not, I'm an electrician, so it drives me nuts when wires are real short, and let's say the wire is like this, okay? How you gonna work on that? You can't work on that, so leave plenty of extra wire for yourself so that you can splice these together, and this diffuser goes inside of here. I have actually pre-glued these just because it takes 24 hours for them to actually cure, and I would definitely not use modeling glue. CA glue will actually end up fogging up your LED, plus it probably may even fog up this clear lens, clear resin. So I got this canopy glue. It's dries in 24 hours. It's clear. That will not show up at all. So I've used it before. It's good stuff. But what else can I say before I start? So these also as well, I would definitely not use modeling glue. I would use a 2-part epoxy. What I use is this quick cure 5-minute insecure that will hold and not release. Okay. All right, I guess I'm going to show you how to epoxy this. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry, but might as well make this all encompassing and show everything to make it easy for whoever doesn't know how. 2-part epoxy. Doesn't smell good. Should wear a mask. Do as I say, not as I do, because normally I'm wearing a mask when I'm not videoing this, because I just don't want to have a headache by the end of the day, and sometimes I end up with one. So we're just put a little bit of toothpick, put a little bit of epoxy in. Don't have to put a lot, just enough to cover the surface because it will end up gushing out. And then there's these grooves here that actually help with adhesion. Put in both. You got 5 minutes, and it doesn't seem like, it seems like it'd be, you like have to rush, but you really don't. It doesn't dry quickly as fast as you think. And 5 minutes is longer than you actually for real. Make sure the bottom, it says the prints on the bottom. I've messed up a couple times already with the wires, putting the prints on the top, and then we're gonna do this, and make sure your wire comes out like on the side at an angle, because if you don't, it'll get pinched, and we don't want to pinch it and break it, and it won't work. A little bit of pressure, make sure that's back all the way. Put this one, clamp this one too, so it's nice and tight, and let that dry. Do the next one. Hopefully I can use this little batch of, see, 5 minutes is actually a long time, so we can do both. Oh, damn it. I'm terrible with dropping stuff. It's pretty awful actually. Cracks in my phones, and so put a little glue in there, put that one in and get that one started, and then put some glue in this one, and hopefully I have enough. Getting close. It's close to steal some from here. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We got enough. That should be enough. Prints on the bottom. Wire sticking out the side. Let's arrange that a little better so that it's nice and sits nicely. And we'll clamp them both. Like so. Perfect. That. And second clamp, not letting your wires get into the epoxy. Right about now it's starting to harden a little bit, but it's still movable. There. It's a little too much. See if we can scrape some of that out so it don't glue to my clamp. Toothpick would probably be better. Q-tip would probably be better. Just see, it starts to yellow before you really got to start worrying. Once it starts to yellow, that's when it's going to start setting in. Make sure it's back. And, oh, I'm sorry. Clamped. See? Let it dry for 5 minutes. And, let that dry for 5 minutes, and then we can let those dry. All right, so this is kind of where we're at right now. We have the back plate glued on, and then the front engine part glued in. The wires are fed through, coming out the back. And I glued one of these just to see how it worked out, and it worked out real good. It's pretty decent, solid there. I'm gonna show you the difference here. Okay, so inside it's marked with bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right. But once you get them together, you kind of gotta figure it out then. But so do yourself a favor, mark outside, pencil, so you know which one's bottom right, bottom left, because you're gonna need to know which one is top and bottom, because the front engine cans are different. So the top one has one notch on it, like a piece of styrene, I don't know what you call those, detail, and then it has this squiggly line engine, detail, and the bottom one has the 3. Don't mix them up. That writing on there, bottom left, top left, helps out a lot. So we'll just glue the next one here just to give you an idea of how to do it. It's really simple. You have your hole, right, and then a square peg to fit it in. So you feed your wires through there, and we'll just twist them together so they go through real easily. Hopefully. I do have some bloopers to edit at the end of this. I have dropped some stuff and messed some stuff up and had to restart over. So everybody messes up, especially me. So I would feed the wires through before you glue it, because your wires might get stuck on the glue a little bit. And put it on the square, and I would put it down below and up here too, so it'll glue real nice. Then just hold on to your wires and push it through, and just hold it for a second. Let's get it lined up good before it dries, and hold it. Give it a minute to dry. If you want, you could spray it with some zip kicker. I like to get it in place a little bit so that it's stays for a second and lines up good. See, that didn't stay. Make sure it's lined up good and tight, and then put the zip kicker on. Should be wearing a mask, but I can't wear a mask when I am videoing. So yeah. The glue went down there. That's okay. That's not glue, that's a zip kicker. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Just glue that part on. And then I am going to also glue the cannon part on, this part, because I want to paint the whole wing. It even has a groove to sit in. It's pretty nice, Justin and Ethan. Pretty good job. I'm not going to put this in yet because I don't know. I want to epoxy that. That's a loose fit, so I want to get that nice and perfect so when I paint it, I'm going to be bumping this thing, so I may just paint these separately. Yeah, so we'll glue this one on and get this in place. Make sure you put them on the right direction. Put a little glue there, a little bit there on this part, so it has 2 or 3 points of contact, and put it in. Come, get in there. Yeah, real simple. Front. Don't mess that up. And just hold it there for a minute. The glue takes hold pretty quickly. It doesn't take long. And then when you actually give it a little bit of the accelerator, it's even better. Jason tells me there's a accelerator for epoxy too. I mean, it's 5-minute epoxy, I can hold it, but it's a pain in the butt to hold it sometimes for 5 minutes. This is instant. And there's a full wing that I'm gonna paint separately than the body because it's just easier just to paint the wings, and I'll end up taping these up so they don't get paint on them. And I don't want to add these lights yet because I don't want them to get filled with any paint. So once I paint this, get everything ready, I'll do this, wire it up, and stuff it back. Yeah, so there we go. And then this goes in here like so. See, that's a little loose, so we're gonna have to definitely epoxy that, make sure they're straight. But there's pretty much a wing assembly. It really wasn't that difficult, other than the wire inside, which was a little bit of a pain in the butt. And I actually like peeled some of the insulation off there. I'm gonna have to like put a little more insulation on that. But it's pretty laid out, pretty easily for anybody. Like I said before, this is a good kit to start with for somebody. It's easy to put together and basic in paint jobs. So if you really want to try your hand at doing these models, this is the one to get. So I'm gonna do the others, glue the other cannons on and engines on, and then finish up the body. I'm gonna work on the body a little bit, get that together today, and then hopefully tomorrow I can throw some primer and paint on. All right, and I will show that as well. All right, so another step in the McQuarrie Merlin Models X-Wing. My dumbass friend Jason suggested that I do fiber optics in the cockpit. Good idea, just didn't think about it, and yeah, it's just one extra step to do. It'll make the model better, but now ever since he put it in my head, I got to do it. So it's just the way it is. I've already done it, so I just want to kind of show you how I did it. So what I first did was I used a little handheld drill I got on Amazon, probably 20 bucks, to get the holes that are a little bit easier to get at, and then used the hand one to get some of the more less accessible places. And then I took the fiber optics, this is 1 mil fiber optics, and I cut them to a certain length and slid them through, right? Left a little nub here. This is what I didn't realize the first time I did fiber optics is what you do, make it easier on yourself. I didn't do it this way. I'll tell you how I did it afterwards. But you slide them through and then you use glue on the other side, okay? Do not use CA modeling glue. It will eat away at your fiber optics and they'll become brittle, and they probably will snap off. I've learned that the hard way as well. So basically this is like Elmer's glue. It's not Elmer's glue, it's like Elmer's glue, but it dries a lot faster in 5 minutes. Elmer's glue takes way too long and you have to sit there. And I just taped them up so they would stay in place, and then put a little glue on the other side. You can't even see it because it dries clear. This is different than the canopy glue I used earlier on the engines. And then I will prime it, paint it, okay, leaving these nubs on. And then once it's all painted, I will go back and just snip these as close as possible, okay, so that you don't paint the tip of the fiber optic, because that's where the light comes through. The light won't show through the outside, but on the inside, but on the tips, okay. Like if you shine a light through there, you can see kind of, hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. No light, kind of, hopefully you can see that. What I was doing, dumbass me, was I would take each fiber and then I would heat up the outside, the tip, so that it would form a little mushroom, and then pull it through so that it wouldn't go through with the mushroom and wouldn't go through the end, and then glue it. Still worked, more complicated. Just, this is way easier. There's a LED in the middle here to light up the cockpit a little bit. But I just want to show you this step here. The fiber optics. Fiber optics are so easy. I mean, they seem so complicated, but they're not. Basically, you have this piece of fiberglass, plastic, and then you put a LED at the end. Cut all these at one length. Put an LED at the end, and the light shines through this end to this end. It's pretty simple. You put the LED there, you tape it however you want to do it. You know, even like heat shrink it so it stays better, but it's so simple. And I'm not just saying that because I'm an electrician. It's really very simple. Lot more time consuming, obviously, but and then I'm going to light these up in different colors. Kind of sucks I don't have more because you know, the LEDs, there might be like 2 or 3 that are red, you know, some white, some blue. So, but that's the cockpit, and then I'm gonna put that on top there. Some of these I gotta form so they sit better in the cockpit. Like I'll just use not a heat gun, because a heat gun will really screw with these. Hair dryer on real high and focus right on there. It'll just heat it up enough that I can bend it without breaking it. So that's the cockpit. We have done put this the armature in, and right now I'm gonna get set up to put these there's little covers that go on there, so that when you put the wing on and it goes in there, it'll cover this area. I'll show you that when I get there. All right, bye. So like I said, I wanted to make sure that the wires worked out right before I put them all together, and then I don't have one that does not work. So I'm gonna do this for all 4, and I'll show you once I get it all together how it looks. This part's pretty easy. Like I said, wiring these things up is not as difficult as you would think it would be. It's pretty cut and dry. Once you learn how to do it, it's not that hard. This is just a tester right now, just to make sure it's working. But it's gonna look cool when I get it together, and I'll show you that. But I also wanted to point out that, I don't know, I like how these look with the aluminum cannons instead of, I'm not painting those. I'm leaving those just as they are, and I like it. So we are getting close. I don't remember if I showed this or not, but we're pretty close to putting it all together, and I'm still unsure how I'm gonna do these pieces that go in between the wings. I don't know what I'm gonna do there. They're kind of difficult. We got the pilot all painted up, and the droid. Gonna do some detail paint on that, and we're getting close to being finished. I don't think there's anything really I could have told anybody that didn't. Once you put this together, it's pretty self-explanatory, so it's not that hard to figure out. I'll put this together and we'll show what it looks like. Voila, there she blows. That looks really cool. I'm happy with that. It's gonna be pretty cool when all 4 of them are in the back. And there's a Arduino board inside that's gonna have a startup procedure, I think. I'm gonna have to talk to Justin and Ethan on how to program that. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm gonna learn pretty soon. So, but yeah, these wings are pretty cool. I like the retro looking orange I put on there. And the coolest part is I kind of went with that because I liked this, kind of give it like Atari symbol look. I don't know, just something retro when you put these on, and it's like this, and you see, that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna like that. That turned out real good. That's gonna look awesome. All right, well, I'm gonna keep going, and I think once I get to the wings put on, we're gonna talk about these beauties in here. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Gonna think that through a little bit. But yeah, don't know what I'm talking about. It's these little pieces that go inside here in between the wings. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I might just make them static because I'm never gonna display it closed, so we'll see. All right, I'll be back. All right, so this little droid was a lot of fun. I really like the look of the droid in the painting. The gray and the white and the different tones of gray. And this is such a cool little cast of this droid that Merlin Models has made. A lot of great detail in there. If you can get out a magnifying glass and like use that to paint, you know, if I want to get colors on it. This was fun. I added this little dish on top because looks like there's a dish in the picture, but yeah, and then just add a little white little glare on the black to make it look circular and reflective. Got some blue in there. I like these. And then just working on the cockpit, added some fiber optics. I gotta do that next. I'm gonna have some red blinking lights and some yellow and white. And hopefully I can get it in the cockpit. It's gonna be a little difficult, but this is all open inside here. Put your finger in there. That's what she said. But this is where we're at right now. And I'm finished painting. I really added a lot of colors. And you probably can't see that when it comes to, let's turn that fan off. When it comes to, when it's in the cockpit, you won't see many of these colors, the little dots and buttons, but I know it's there, so that makes me happy. I can't say enough how awesome of a kit this is. This is just, it is very well done. No cleaning, such detail. Do not hesitate to get this. The only issue that I have had, which might actually cause some newer modelers trouble, is inside the wings are these plates. And I think I talked about it already. I can't even see them right now. And that open and close, and getting those in is a little difficult. I struggled, so I'm thinking it's gonna be a struggle for somebody who hasn't really done this before. But they open and close they go along with the wings. And they're a little difficult to work with. I don't even know how to show you how to do it because I really struggled, like both hands on, could not film. So, but take that away. The details on these kits are insane. Hyper accurate. Well, this is a concept model, but hyper accurate and very easy to work with. And I think once you start seeing these kits come out, a lot of people are going to understand how pretty damn great they are. I think the blockade runner is starting to come out, and I think, if I'm not wrong, this one's after that. So, dude, buy these. These are great. They're freaking amazing. Once I get all the lights taken care of, I will do more of the last video, final video. And honestly, guys, like, this is my favorite part. I love that they made these aluminum. And I decided to keep them aluminum. I like that a lot. I don't know. It adds a little bit of extra to this model. And I mean, you can paint them if you want. That's totally up to you. But I decided to keep them the aluminum color and actually paint the back. These parts here are aluminum with some aluminum paint. But we're coming along. It's almost there. And the next one will be the final with lights and everything. I'm going to try to explain some fiber optics. Fiber optics are actually very simple. They're so simple, but people think they're complicated. I'm an electrician, but even for me, this is exceptionally simple. Really is just pieces of plastic, okay? And they're threads of plastic. You drill holes into the model, right? you thread the holes through. Okay, they stick out through those holes. Now I glue them in place by using a CA, not CA glue. Oh God, I don't even know what it's called. It's like Elmer's glue, but it's quicker. And if you use CA glue, which is like Bob Smith's, McQuarrie, I don't even know what these are called, but what they're really, CA glue is what they call it, modeling glue. If you use that on these plastic threads, they will become brittle and break. So you use, I'm gonna grab it quick. Super Bond. It's like Elmer's glue, but quicker. Elmer's glue will work. It just takes a long time to set, okay? You thread those through, leave them sticking out, like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch or so out of the holes, and then paint your whole model, do your base coats. Then you go and you snip real close to the edge, right? So that the end of the fiber optic is sticking at the hole, okay? And then sometimes you need to, like, say, like over here, what I had to do was I had to heat these up a little bit. So they're some of the thicker ones are a little more rigid. So just use a heat gun from a very far distance. Just, I'm telling you, you need to be extra careful when doing that, because if you get too much heat on these, they'll squiggle all up and melt. So just very far distance, quick pass by, and then shape them so that they'll fit into your model. And they'll go to, because these will tend to stick out. And so then after you've done painted your whole model, which what I do is I take a straw and I will cut all of the ends of the fiber optics so that they're at one point, right? And I will stick, I'm gonna try to do this without seeing it very well. Stick these in here. Usually there's more. And then what I'll do is I will tape this and this, just so it stays in place, okay? Cut it long enough so that you can get your fiber optics in, and also the LED. This is the LED. Somebody I knew I was trying to discuss LEDs and fiber optics, and they didn't quite understand the difference. So fiber optics are these, and the LEDs are obviously the lights. DC voltage based. They come in 9, 12, a bunch of different voltages. So then what I'll do is, after I have this side taped up, as you can see on here, okay, I will take this canopy glue, which takes 24 hours to really cure, but it ends up being clear. And I'll drop a bunch of drops in the end, okay? Because, and being as how this is taped up, the glue won't, it's runny, so the glue won't go through. So then I stick this end, this LED in there, okay? And then you have your, try not to like bump it up against the LED. I'd set it back a little bit, okay? And then I'll tape up the rest so that the glue is holding it in place, and then also the tape is holding the ends. Also the tape, the electrical tape will cover up this straw and not allow light to leave it, which is what we end up with here, okay? It's really actually so simple. It really is. And LEDs run off a DC voltage. You have a positive and a negative, black and red, usually. Like the one of these has brown. One of these is brown instead of red. So black and red, positive and negative, okay? And then to test it, I have this little handy dandy power source that is not gonna reach. So Let me pause it and I'll fix that. They're back. So I would say the hardest part about fiber optics is organizing these wires into what colors you want them to be, straightening them out. And sometimes it gets a little confusing, and sometimes they don't end up the combination you want them to be. But I mean, sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does. Like this, to compute this screen in the front, I want those three to be white because they're just dots on black screen. So let's plug it in and see what it looks like. There you go. Yes, very nice. Turned out exactly as I wanted it to, actually. Wow, me being happier than I thought I would be with it. I like to have a couple blinking red lights. Blue and white are generally the usual color. The red too are usually the colors that I use for Star Wars. And then down below there's an LED down there that will shine in the cockpit and show everything off. But yeah, this turned out good. I'm happy with it, and I hope I helped a little bit. LEDs are really I'm sorry, I keep saying the same thing. Fiber optics are really actually pretty simple. Just take your time and, don't get frustrated. These things can break, and they've come out sometimes. I've already had to glue a couple of these back in because they weren't, they didn't stay in very well. They pulled out. But it's a worthwhile thing to do. Kind of wish I hadn't had all three of those be red blinking, but you know what? It's whatever. So, hope I taught you something. But, like I said in the last video, I'm really happy with this model. I've always wanted a McQuarrie X-Wing. I think it's amazing and beautiful, and I'm very happy to have this in my collection now. So, all right, well, I'm gonna let the glue inside there dry and not mess with it as much as possible because I can see some of the glue is starting to leak out the bottom, which I don't want. And I'm gonna put it back upside down so that it goes back into where it's supposed to be and dries solid. All right, man. All right, here it is, all done, completed, lit up. Wow, what a model. In all honesty, I freaking love it. It's so cool. Such a well-designed model, and pretty straightforward and easy to work on. I've said a million times, I don't think I've ever seen anybody use metal laser cannons, and I kept the metal, so that the metal color I didn't paint over. I gave it a little bit of firing residue on the front, but for the most part I kept the aluminum. This is okay, so there's gonna be animation to these lights in the back. They're gonna flicker or do things. They sent me an Arduino board to program and get it together, so it does that, but I haven't done that yet. But I just lit it up just for the sake of showing it off, getting this group, build video made so everybody can see how great this model really is. The wings open and close. You can display it however you want. I don't know why you would display it closed, but everybody's got their own preferences. You actually have to take the canopy off. The cockpit comes out. I don't feel like doing that because I got a lot of wires tucked in there. And then there's a wing nut that you loosen up and then close the S-foils in attack position. I love the little droid. Like I think I said in one of my videos, like last night we had a show where the droid, there's so much detail you don't even see in this thing. Like here, the droid, most of that detail is covered up. but they went the extra mile and put the detail on everything. Inside as well, like you don't see a lot of it. It's hard to see inside, but there's so much detail on the inside, the cockpit. Even down in there, his legs are down there. Lights, you know, buttons and stuff, which I did fiber optics to make it blink and show up real cool. I'm really happy with it. I think it's an amazing model, and I really think you'll all be happy with it when you finally get it. This design, I wanted to do something retro, and I think I did pretty good job of it. I made it try to look like an Atari symbol. I'll put a little picture up to show what I mean, but I also went very lightly weathered because McQuarrie stuff's not really weathered. It's pretty clean and pristine. You know, there's some weathering, but you know, that's just real world, just to make it look three-dimensional. You know, if it's too clean and too plain, then it doesn't look right. It looks fake. But I also did one thing I think a lot of people miss when they do these models is they paint them and they just leave it, you know, orange and white and then weather it. I always missed everything with, you know, like this, I missed it with SP lettering gray, and it sort of tones things down and blends things in together. And once you get it all painted, just give it a light mist of some kind of gray, whether it's SP lettering or whatever gray you mix up, or, you know, grime or whatever, and you'll see a big difference. Like you'll see it kind of tones things down and blends things together. And makes things look awesome. So like I said, dude, get this model. It's freaking amazing, and I really do. Merlin Models is doing some amazing work, and when you see this thing, if you've ever held a resin kit in your life, you know, a garage kit, and then you hold this and you look at the details and look at how much you don't have to clean up and how little work you have to do compared to like a garage kit where you got to clean off all the parts and all the flashing and even fix bubbles. There was no fixing on this. There's just, everything was clean and perfect. And, you know, like sometimes you have to clean it. You have to re-scribe these lines on garage kits. You don't have to do that on these Merlin model kits. They're like store-bought, factory-made, but they're not. They're made with love. And passion, because these guys really put everything into these things. At first I was a little hesitant on the blue lights, but you know what? I usually use use warm lights, but for this it's perfect. Like it just fits. I love it. I have to make a base for it. I got to get my laser cutter running one of these days, really soon, but we'll see. When I get back from vacation. But it's fucking beautiful. Like, I'm so happy with this. And like the aluminum has like an iridescent look to it a little bit. I don't know if that's something you want to do or not. It's really cool. But yeah, this was a fun build. I want to thank Justin and Ethan for trusting me with this beauty and allowing me to put it together and show it off. And hopefully I could do some more videos for them. That'd be nice. Guys, buy this thing. It's freaking beautiful. Hasta la vista, baby. So just a little bit of glue down here where you're not going to see it, and the sides, and then I would also do the square peg. Put some glue all around that. Let me do this out. Dripping all over myself. Here. And then that just slides right in there. Hold it tight for a bit. Ah, crap. Damn it. Bet you put this these two, well, there'll be two wires. There'll be a positive and negative, and they'll go through there. But you have to make it long enough so that you can actually work with it. You don't want to make it short so it's that tight. Because you gotta, come on baby. You have to make this long enough to splice this so that this can go inside of here. Okay? And then make that long enough. Okay? And then also have it long enough so that it can go into your, man, I'm really messing this up, into your cockpit. We're gonna start this all over because that sucked. So, because of my dumbass friend, Jason, he suggested I do fiber optics. I didn't even think about it, but it's actually a good idea in the cockpit. So what we got, I did it already, but I just wanted to kind of show you how I did it. Took a little drill, little handheld drill to get the easy ones, the holes to make easier holes. Let's do that again.